Good evening guys, welcome back to another interesting video of Success Tracker. Shashi Tharoor, the MP from Trivandrum, is a strong advocate and introducer of the statement British owes reparation. A depraved plunder happened in each colonies once controlled by them. The British stance was that they colonized countries to civilize them. But today, even the educated historians and other citizens of UK says that colonization had been exploitation. The European countries searched for lands enriched with resources around the globe and with their advanced technology and cunning tactics gained control of the same. India too was subjected to the same. Colonization came to an end in the coming years of Second World War and almost all countries gained independence. The natural resources exploited can be left put aside as they replenish again, but the debris of colonization persists in certain type of buildings, that is, the museums. The British Museum is the world's largest history museum and it draws millions of visitors every year. Inside it holds more than 8 million cultural and historical artifacts from all over the world which cover 2 million years of human history. The Easter Island sculpture, about 1000 years old, the bronze sculpture of the Hindu god Shiva are splendidly displayed in the museum. But there is a problem hidden in the museum. Nearly half have disputed ownership. The British Museum claims those pieces belong their own display for the world to see. But in recent years, many have been fighting to get them back to where they came from. The list of disputed treasures keeps on going. In the late 600s, the British Empire began expanding across several continents. It becomes the largest empire in history, controlling about a quarter of the world's land and population. During the centuries' long rule, the empire took precious resources and wealth from all the countries all over the world, including cultural and historical artifacts, and ended up in British Museum. This museum, founded in 1753, kept growing to accommodate all the new pieces in its collection. It is also true that there are many artifacts legally acquired and has no claims, like a 2000-year-old Roman vase sold by a duke in 1945, but this doesn't hint that everything accommodated there are gifted or sold there. Nearly half of them are taken with might from the emaciated colonies. First things you see entering there was the Rosette Stone is taken by British from the French, what is actually from Egypt. Further in, Parthenon sculptures removed from Athens by a British lord. Being a Greek origin, it was a great shame to have been the empty space in the Acropolis Museum lying in wait for the return of the Parthenon marbles. There are Benin bronzes on the floor dedicated to African arts, which includes huge range of items from engraved ivory tusks to brass sculptures to plaques. This has a huge history to tell. They belong to Kingdom of Benin in Nigeria. This wealthy kingdom produced thousands of objects and art pieces starting in the 500s. They were regarded visual archives of the kingdom as they did not develop a written script. In the end of 19th century, the European colonial power were expanding south, what was called the Scramble of Africa. They split up the continent into spheres of influence for financial exploitation. Benin was over British sphere of influence. Thus was the journey of the Benin bronze embarked. There were many requests and claims from the Nigerians to get back the Benin bronze, but the British with iron first laid all yielding. There beholds a no return of artifacts policy for the museum. There is a knowful fact also regarding African artifacts. It is not easy for them to get a UK visa, so the majority of them shall die unseen their own cultural creations, though they have intense desire. How strange it is that they can't see the artifacts of their own ancestors. To discuss the Indian wealth stolen by British, we get our mouths dried of talking. Let's for this occasion look into the museum only. We all are aware of the Kohinoor diamond controversy, the long and unsuccessful efforts of India to bring it back from the British, but all in vain, it is still possessed by British. Tipu's tiger is a mechanical toy created for Tipu Sultan in the 18th century. The wood toy depicts a tiger brutally injuring a European man. When someone turns the handle on the side of the toy, the tiger emits a roaring sound while man wails, lifting his arms up and down. The toy was built keeping in mind the shattered Tipu Sultan had for the British of the East India Company. But this toy today finds its residence in British Museum. The Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan's wine cup dates back to 657 CE. The cup has inscribed with the title Second Lord of the Conjunction. The bottom of the cup features acanthus leaves and a lotus flower and is one of the most elegant treasures of the Mughal dynasty. The object was acquired in the 19th century by colonial Charles Surton Guthrie and was in the possession of R.M.W. Walker. The cup is currently in the possession of Victoria and Albert Museum, London. Maharaja Ranjit Singh was the leader of the Sikh Empire in the early half of the 19th century. In the early 800s, Singh's throne was made by the goldsmith Hafiz Muhammad Multani. The throne is made of wood and resin core and covered with sheets of gold. In 1849, after the Second Anglo-Sikh War, the throne was taken by the British and was displayed with other treasures at the Great Exhibition in 1851. The throne is currently in the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. The Amaravati Marbles, also called Amaravati Collection, is a series of 120 sculptures and inscriptions from the Amaravati in Andhra Pradesh. Let's wind up the list for now, as it would not find an end. The ages of colonization were unmistakably a time of plunder. But still, now they possess these historical things despite being a royal nation in words. The British Museum can exhibit these artifacts as epitome for perfection, elegance, workmanship and splendor. But more than all this, such objects have a history to tell. The cultural roots of a land is depicted in such art forms. The works of our forefathers survived to this age for portraying their life and culture to us. This much precious things are kept by the British for merely displaying grandeur. Click the like button below if you like the video. And don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for getting notification of our latest videos. Also, share the video and add your valuable comments in the comment box. Thank you for supporting us.